Alright guys, I'm going to do a little bit of an update on some of my work tools. It's going on 2 years now. I went out and purchased just a whole bunch of different tools that I needed to start my new job. They were purchased by the company, but picked out by me. And I just wanted to do an update on some of these tools that I have had for about 2 years now and let you know what I think of them. Now, I'll leave a card up in the corner there for the video, because I made a video of when I first got all of them, along with the Husky bag and all that other good stuff. So if you want to check that video out, and if you see a tool that you want to know about, how is it holding up? Do I still have it? And is it worth it? Then watch that video and let me know. But right now I'm just going to do a update on all my ratchets that I have for at work. Alright, first of all, this one I had bought before I started this job, and I had it at home. But the ratchet that I had inherited when I started that job disappeared on me, if you know what I mean. So I ended up taking this Dewalt to work, and I kind of wanted to test it out to see what it was made of. Dewalt's not really a name you hear about when you think about ratchets, but so I went ahead and took that to work. I did buy this as part of that initial tool purchase with all those other tools, and I bought this one as well. I think I had bought this off of Amazon. I got this at Ace and Harbor Freight. So let's start with the Harbor Freight one first. 1/4-inch drive, swivel head. But, you know, I gotta tell you guys, I don't really use this one that much. As you can see, it's been used, and there's been a few jobs where I've reached for it, but all in all, for the 1/4-inch drive stuff, most of the time I go with this Craftsman. I know when I got this, I was impressed by how it felt and how it sounded, and everything still sounds and feels really good. It feels and sounds really solid, right? Doesn't feel like there's anything loose or something that'll pop out on you. But I'd say the biggest reason why I don't use it more often is probably because of this swivel head. I thought this might come in handy in plenty of situations, but I find it's almost just too bulky. And with this swiveling right here, yeah, there's times for it, but most of the time I'd rather deal with a fixed head like that. But for the few times I have used it, would I recommend it? You bet. I think it's a really solid 1/4-inch drive ratchet. If you got something where you think you might use this feature or function a lot, then I would definitely recommend this. You know, you see some people out there talking about how this spread out, all this just went to hell. You know what? It's a 1/4-inch drive ratchet. Don't be putting cheater bars on it, and don't be trying to do stuff that common sense tells you it's not made for. There. Okay, alright. The Craftsman. I've used this by far the most when it came to 1/4-inch drive ratchets between the two. Like I said before, I like the fixed head part. And it has a very small profile. So it's easier to deal with when you're getting into tight spaces. Let's see here. What I think about it as far as performance. It's kind of there's been a couple times where I think a tooth might have skipped on me here and there. And I don't know, there were just a couple times where that happened. And then also this ball bearing here, this detent, which is supposed to lock the sockets in for the most part, and they're only supposed to come off when you hit this quick release. Well, The sockets that I use, which are Harbor Freight sockets, we'll do another video about those. Every once in a while, it doesn't take a whole lot for them to come off. If I were to do the rattle test on this, then yeah, maybe. But it's just one of those things. I would prefer this to hold sockets a little bit better than what it does. And like I said, I think there's a couple times where it almost felt like it skipped a tooth. But other than that, it's been a great ratchet. I like the way it feels. I like the profile. I think I've taken it apart once or twice to clean everything out and put some grease in there. But let's just take a closer look at it. As you can see, it's got all those good old wear marks. You can tell it's been used pretty good. So, all right. And then the Dewalt. Guys, I got nothing but good things to say about this ratchet. I didn't know what to expect when I took it to work. Like I said, Dewalt, you don't really hear a whole lot about their ratchets. They're not known for ratchets. But I've been treated good by this ratchet. You know, when it comes to tools, I'll treat the tool good, but the tool better treat me good too. You know, I use my tools hard, but I'm fair with them. And I give them a TLC every once in a while with the cleanup and lubrication. So I expect performance, period. And if this ratchet were to have slipped on me or something would have broken, you know, with me just using it with normal everyday 3/8 drive use, this tool would have been just tossed. I don't have a lot of tolerance for tools that fail under normal working conditions for that specific tool. But I'm happy to say that this tool has performed every time I've asked of it. Never put cheater bars. I don't put leverage on it that it's not meant for. But I've taken off some 17 and 19 mil fasteners, or shall I say the head of the fastener was either 17 or 19 mil. Those are on there pretty tight, and so I had to get those loose, and it always performed for me. All right, here, let's just listen to it. Still sounds about as good as the day I bought it, actually. Also with this, I've opened it up a couple times, cleaned it and lubed it. So, all right. Probably one of my favorite features on this, I've probably said this before, but this large reversing mechanism is just great. I mean, I've never had a problem with it getting bumped or switched accidentally. It's always held its spot whenever I needed it to. The quick release works good. It still holds sockets good. I would prefer if it were to hold them like say a snap-on ratchet would or an SK, but for the most part, especially for a quick release, it holds the sockets just fine. So, and I think I mentioned this before in another video I did of this earlier, but it's a heavy ratchet. The handle is really heavy. I've found it's helped me more than hindered me. Probably a couple times where I wish it would have been lighter, but there's been more than a couple times where I appreciated the extra weight for swinging or for that extra momentum when I'm ratcheting on something. So, but yep, there it is. And yes, I've dropped it a few times. The tool wouldn't be the same without a couple drop marks or scratches, right? That's part of building character with the tool. But okay, all right, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. Now, okay, I don't I decided not to put sockets on them and do the rayout test and all that stuff because I just wanted to talk about the ratchets themselves and give you an up close and my opinion on them. It's not something where I'm doing a review, any comparison, or anything like that. It's just something I'm showing you guys the tool by itself and what I liked and didn't like about them, and if I would recommend them. Like I said, I recommend this. I would recommend this, but you can tell I'm kind of hesitant sometimes because there's been a couple times where it's just been kind of a little bit off. And like I say, when you sense a failure or potential failure on a tool, even under normal working conditions, you're kind of hesitant. But at the same time, I really like its profile, the small profile of it, and it does feel good in the hands. So let's just say I'll recommend it, but if something else comes up or if it breaks on me under normal use, I'll let you guys know, and then we might have to come back and talk about that again. The Dewalt, yes, I have to recommend it just because of the way it's performed for me so far. But, all right. One last thing. If I can remember the price on these, the Dewalt, I'm thinking it was around $20 to $25. I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been a couple years. The Craftsman, I think that costs at least about the same as the Dewalt at Ace. Ace charges a little bit more, but it was a little bit pricey. The Harbor Freight or the Pittsburg one, maybe $10, $15? I don't know, something like that. It was way cheaper than the Craftsman, I'll tell you that much. But all right, with that, let me know what you guys think, what you guys use for an everyday ratchet at work or at home or both. But either way, like and subscribe. But I hope you enjoyed. Later.